Neil Costa says it's been a privilege and honour to serve as a minister, believing he's given it his all.
Anyone who speaks of public service being a sacrifice shouldn't be in public service. I mean, this truly is an enormous privilege to be able to serve your community. Apart from being a huge privilege, it's very rewarding. It is, however, also true to say that if you do this job properly, if you want to serve your community unstintingly, always giving your community your very best, then you've got to accept that this job is not full-time, it is all the time. And that is something that when you stand for election, you should be extremely clear on. I mean, there are days where you think you're going to be able to spend some time with the family and emails or phone calls come in, and you've got to attend to that. And that is what the job entails.
3 weeks ago, an employment tribunal found that a complaint of bullying by a GHA employee against the medical director, Daniel Casaglia, was well-founded. The health minister confirmed the GHA is seeking legal advice on that finding. If there are grounds to appeal, the GHA will do so. If not, the internal disciplinary procedure would be continued by the Chief Secretary.
The moment that the allegations were made, my very first decision, absent legal advice, was to make sure that it was taken out of the GHA to an independent officer like the Chief Secretary for him to establish an independent tribunal. I didn't want either unsuccessful party to then say, oh, the reason why the other party won was only because it was done internally with the GHA. In the light of the chairperson's judgment, whether or not legal advice is that it was right or wrong, the views expressed by the chairperson in respect of bullying have been fully seized on by the GHA, and the GHA is in the process of totally reviewing and fully updating our internal documentation and contractual documentation so that it is fully up to date and consistent with the Dignity at Work Act.
As Justice Minister, he said whether or not the sex offenders register should be made public is a live issue.
I don't think there is any problem in me telling you that I very much think that we are moving in the direction of the UK, but because it is such an important project, and given that, as you rightly say, the position in Gibraltar has not moved since it moved so many years ago in the UK, let's make sure therefore that we take it easy, given that we're not trying to fall over ourselves to get it done before the UK.
Take it easy, or you mean do it right?
Get it right.
His ministerial work has been broad, so what is his biggest regret?
Well, the fact that I was not able to commence and inaugurate the Children's Secure Facility, which I think is incredibly important, not just for the criminal element, in other words, to make sure that children are not sent to prison in a prison with adults, also for those children who, for different reasons, require a care order to be made that is a residential care order and who require residential care under the auspices of the care agency, also in a secure home.
And he highlighted one of his proudest achievements.
And not a single operation has been cancelled due to lack of beds. I was once told that not even in the Houston Medical Center would that be possible. We've made it possible, and it's been made possible because I've got fantastic people around me.
He also looked ahead to the opening of the new primary care centre at Europort before the election is held, he said. Mr. Costa hopes he's been able to add his own modest contribution to improving Gibraltar. Today's news means the GSLP Liberal Alliance will have at least one new election candidate next month.